Hi, welcome to H&D Abroad. I'm Dee.
And I'm Herman.
Nice to have you join us today. Our channel is all about our journey as mid-career professionals who are choosing to move abroad. So if you are interested in the hows, the whys, the wheres, hit that like button for this video and the subscribe button. Make sure you ring that notification bell so that you are alerted when we post a new video. Welcome.
Welcome, absolutely. Today our conversation with you is going to be about why we decided to move abroad. What are our whys for moving abroad? And we have 5 points
Yeah,
that we'd like to touch on today.
And one bonus.
And one bonus.
So watch all the way to the end.
All right. So our first was our financial growth. We have had many roller coaster experiences of our finances over the last many years we've been married. And as we have begun to, or continue to grow financially, grow more responsibly, we realized that the opportunity to live abroad also offered some financial balances that don't always happen here. Financial balances that happen in cost of living, financial balances that happen in healthcare, especially as we move closer towards our retirement years and our older age, preparing for that, as well as we have older parents who may need care, who may spend some lifetime with us, and we may be able to better manage their health care financially. Is that
affordability for me was a big reason. Looking at how much it costs for housing and insurance and cars and maintenance, a lot of those things kind of factor into things that are more expensive in the United States where we live. And so we're looking for locations that just offer us more ways to spend our dollars that we earn in the US. And we know now with virtual employment, which I've been doing for the last 3 years, is possible in a lot of places. So where we're getting on track financially, I think moving abroad is going to help us grow our savings exponentially, get support if we need it, especially for our parents if we have to move abroad. And so that financial picture, that financial dynamic, there's an advantage to considering moving abroad. So I think the second for me is health. So just like we mentioned before, health care costs are much less expensive. They are more of an out-of-pocket fee. So whether we'll probably have both, as we've been doing a little bit of our research about, getting an international health plan, as well as those out-of-pocket co-pays or cost are much more affordable living abroad than they are in the US.
We've had some healthcare challenges over the last couple of years, and those costs really challenged our financial standing, and not just for ourselves, but for our young adult children as well. They've had some recent challenges, unexpected challenges. And when we compare what we've had to come out of pocket or our out-of-pocket costs on top of the insurance and what those costs would have been living abroad, the differences between the two are very obvious. And so as we learn to live more healthy, and I guess that's also a second part of that. It's not just healthcare. It's also
healthy living.
Healthy living. We just recently spent a couple of weeks in Mexico as we worked on our visa, and we could tell how we felt different. And it wasn't necessarily a vacation time. We actually were there working on the process, but just the vibe, the feel.
And walking as a part of our everyday.
Right.
What we ate was whole food, plant-based, that was affordable. And so just looking at the culture of wellness and the way that we would live life abroad versus in the US is vastly different. Stephanie Perry is one of my online mentors. And she talked about just how she's in Costa Rica, and that the preservatives in her bread didn't really exist. She said she sat bread on the counter and it molded in 4 days. I could sit bread from my local grocery store on the counter for 2 weeks and it not mold because of the preservatives. So we know that there is an advantage to eating more of the whole food, plant-based diet that's not only affordable, it's convenient, it's a part of the cultural norm. So we want to be in a place to give the best health advantages to ourselves, because we're looking at aging well and improving our quality of life today and into the future. So, I am excited to be considering a career transition, moving abroad. The way I want to work and not just my career field is important. So the way I want to work is more in balance. I want to have more control over the amount of time that I spend working. We want to continue to earn good salaries, but in a way that is complementary to how we want to live our lives. So moving abroad has challenged me to say, I want to prioritize remote work. I want to have skills where I can move into more of a consultant space. And I think, Herman, it's given you the opportunity to look at how you want to transform the work that you've done in a different way too.
Correct. With working culinary, which is my current field, I'm working on transforming that to an online basis, where I can continue some of the work that I do here in a way where I can do it anywhere. Also, I'm always excited about learning culturally about foods and experiences in the countries on which we hope to reside. Investing, fully integrating into a culture. One of the biggest things is food, and the opportunity to not only eat foods people cook, but learn to practice that in a way that, as Dee said, we increase our health benefits. You know, what are things that are available that I may not have tapped into in an environment that is largely processed foods. You know, we grew a garden just a couple of years ago, just on our back porch in pots. And my excitement about growing a few tomatoes and a few eggplants and peppers, the opportunity to do that more regularly and with ingredients that I'm not currently familiar with. And I hope to be able to, it's always great to learn. and any learning translates in my mind to a better product. So I'm really excited about that process too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trust me. I'm going to enjoy that part of the process too. So I think point number 4 is
diversity.
yeah.
I'm a people person. And meeting people in their comfortable space and learning about them.
Yeah.
I want to learn Spanish, not just because some of the places we're exploring to live have a Spanish background, but out of respect for the people, out of respect for their home. Being able to be comfortable. I don't know if I'll ever be fluent in Spanish. I had so many Spanish classes over my lifetime, high school, college, just trying. But I want to be engaging enough that I respect the spaces in which I reside, because I want to be a part of that culture. When we spent that time in Mexico, looking at the diversity of peoples, it's easy to idealize what people look like and how people act and what their history is, and the diversity of peoples is heartwarming, and so traveling abroad, living abroad, is more than just I'm passing through your space and I learned something new and I get to sit down to the restaurants and eat. It's a full immersion into learning new ways to be alive, not just live, but to be alive. So that's.
Well, I'm also from a diversity perspective. I know that the African diaspora doesn't just include the United States and our history and the Caribbean, but also its impact Afro-Mexicans, Afro-Ecuadorians, and how people across the diaspora have settled into these Central and South American countries specifically, but also into Europe and throughout Africa and Asia. The African experience has been in every place, and so seeing how that is represented, how the African race has influenced and has given so much in literature, arts, music, foodways, growing, agriculture. Just, we are a diverse people all over the globe, and I'm really looking forward to understanding that experience and continuing to take pride and lifting up the race of people that I'm connected with across the globe. So probably the thing as we transition to number 5, my why for moving abroad was that I've always wanted to live abroad. I remember being in middle and high school and thinking not just about what I wanted to do as a career, but where I would do it. In those religious years, it was around missions, but it was just really an interest in understanding people and understanding the events, the history that influenced things that they did, and then feeling that I had a skill or something to offer, and that I also have lots to learn. And I think as we look at health and finances and other things, those things that we struggled through in a lot of the years of our early marriage distanced me from that dream. And so getting on track financially, getting our health focused, and really looking at our career that doesn't just earn us money, but helps us to develop the quality of life that we desire, has helped put me back on track toward a dream. And it's never too late. It's really never too late to look at what would have brought you joy if you did it in your 20s and realizing in our late 40s that we can still be on track even with all of the other requirements, obligations, and priorities that we have in our lives. So,
and I probably, just to add to that, to be transparent, we traveled a lot when I was growing up. We both come from the southern region. We're from the South, but my father, because of his background, desired to travel, and so he took us a lot of places. We traveled a lot, and he's been to most of the world. From a poor boy down south, he's been to most of the world. So it's always been a desire for me to travel, to see the world. Like a lot of Black people, especially Black people from the South, I honestly never considered what living abroad might be. Definitely travel, even travel for extended period of time. I never really considered, the necessity for living abroad. When Dee began expressing more interest in that desire, I took a different look at it because I wasn't against it. I just had never taken the time to put it into thought. A lot of times when people are moving abroad, especially Black people or people of color, they're running away. And I hate to say that, I don't mean it to be offensive, but they're
distancing themselves
from the things that are happening in the States. Now, to be honest, some of those things
are true
are
for us.
Are part of our experience as well. But I think at its core, it's that the world is bigger than the space we live in. And to just limit myself or ourselves to the space we're familiar with, we're comfortable with, while we're still in our youth, we'd like to engage the world in a personal way beyond just being tourists. So I'm a convert.
Which leads right into our surprise number 6, is getting on the same page for our why. So as you've heard along the way, we've had individual reasons, we've had reasons that impact a partner, and our why has had to be shaped by the fact that I think I was a little bit farther ahead in considering what moving abroad could look like in a more permanent space, and that in conversation. And that's really what it's taken, is for us to each find a why, communicate that over time, and together we can find points of commonality that really help the why to be shaped to something that is relevant and is a priority for both of us. One concern that I had is are you following my dream? There are several videos out there about, getting your spouse on board. And I think part of it was being able to express why this was important to me. The other part was listening to Herman's concerns, listening to what he didn't understand, and hearing his concerns and not feeling threatened by them. I am fully, capable of traveling alone, but we have committed to experiencing the benefits of each day together. And so there'll be times when we do things separate, even on this move abroad journey, but I'm really proud that through work over the years that our why has developed into a we goal as well as an individual goal. We individually know why this is important to us. And I think that provides the momentum that you need when things don't go like you think they will, with just priorities and, your day-to-day goals and things that you have to accomplish, and being able to stay focused and stay true to our goal of moving abroad. So,
and also understanding the differences in priorities and perceptions and processing. You heard me say in our last video, processing. When we were on the ground taking care of our visa, a lot more of what it meant and the impact meant more to me than just we were listening to everybody else's videos and we were reading through information. That translates for Dee differently than it does for me. Being on the ground, hands-on, enhanced the experience, completed the experience, explained the whys in ways that the conversation didn't always. But the conversation was important so that when the experience happened, I had a reference point. Oh, okay, so you explaining this. Oh, you were looking at that. At the same time, she got to see me on the ground and she went, oh, you didn't. Oh, now I understand. Or her perception about things. Oh, maybe it wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be. And those conversations are important. It's not going to work for everybody. There's still going to be couples or families that move abroad where it's a big deal for one person and not for the other. We constantly talk about the fact that we may choose to attempt to move to a place that one of the other of us likes and the other person doesn't. So we may move to, Timbuktu, and she'd be excited about it, and I may be like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And because of these conversations, we're prepared for that compromise. We're prepared for that challenge.
This why video was important to us to share with you, and to encourage you to have conversations about why is it important historically, and the importance of working things out together if you have a partner, both expressing and listening, having experiences together that help you make the decision. Not every couple is going to be on the same page, and it's important to hear and see that people are working through that. That's why this channel is all about the journey. We have not moved abroad, and so these are important steps that you can take to begin the conversation. If there's some things that you and your partner have navigated, why don't you leave those in the comments? Those comments can be helpful to other couples that are maybe even haven't done anything more than just think about it. How to have that first conversation about, I'm thinking about leaving, and what does that mean to me? What does that mean to us? So,
and as we share our journey forward and share some of our journey past, If there's some things that you would like us to discuss or see videos about, please also leave that in the comments. We're open to suggestions. This is a learning and ongoing process for us. And we'd like to share that with you, and we'd like you to come along for the ride.
Yeah, so remember, like this video, share it, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are alerted when we post our next video. Bye for now.
See you soon.